Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about my top Stephen King books I've enjoyed and the two that I did not enjoy as much. So let's get into it. Hey y'all. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about my top Stephen King books I've liked and the only two so far that I did not like. So, I had a big old stack over here, so I'm gonna start off with this one. I enjoyed Pet Sematary. Now this one is about these people that move and all that stuff, and their daughter ends up being killed by a truck, and you find the cemetery that could bring pets back to life. Well, the pets did come back, but then he tries to do it on his daughter, and it all goes south. I think everyone knows about what this movie's about, this book is about, so I'm not going to go too much detail into it, but I remember this was one of the very first ones I read, along with The Shining and It. So when I read it fairly quickly, and I just enjoyed it. It was pretty entertaining. It didn't really scare me, even though Stephen King has said that this book has scared him. But to me, I didn't get scared by it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. There's that one, and the other one is obviously, I'll just say it. It was this one. Now we all know what this is about. It's about a clown and the kids being affected by the clown, and you follow them as kids, and then you follow them when they're adults as well. So I mean, there's about 7 kids written about in this movie. So why do you saying movie? Dang, in this book. This is not a movie YouTube channel. This is a booktube channel. We're talking about books, not movies. Anyway, we all know what this one's about too. I don't really give ratings on things. I just know if I enjoy them. If I like them, I like them. If I don't, I don't. But I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It may be really big, but it's very entertaining. And the best way I read them, especially this big chunker, is I audiobook it. Always audiobook the big ones, because you can listen to it while being in the shower, doing dishes, cooking, like if you're at work or something, and you're if you're like work retail or something and you fold clothes, have one earbud in and listen to your book. That's what I would do. That's my little advice for that. And the next one is, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I think if I had to do I have to really rank them, this would be like number 2. But this one is 11/22/63. Literally, I enjoyed every bit of this. Like, it was just so good. Like, what's his name? Jake Epping goes back in time. And how they go back in time is that he goes in through this little restaurant area, and he goes to this little portal thing. It ends up in 1959, I think, 1959 or 1960. And then he just lives his life out there in Texas, right? I think it's Texas. I forget. He's somewhere in there, but anyway, I enjoyed it. It was so entertaining. It was so good, and how I really like the concept of how if you went back in history and changed one thing, how would that affect the future? Like him preventing JFK's assassination, it caused a whole like the world to end. Like he comes back and it's like people are fending for themselves and all that, and like it's almost like you know how like in The Walking Dead, like that kind of setting where like people, like they're running wild, they rob you, they kill you and all that stuff, or like in The Purge, it's like kind of like that vibes, you know. So I like that concept a lot. And another one was Salem's Lot. Now, I really enjoyed this one. A lot of people say it's a slow burn book, which it is a slow burn, but it's focused a lot on the character building of all the characters and all stuff. We know what it's about. A vampire guy named, Ben Mears comes back, he's living in this town, and goes and sees this house, and what's that guy's name? The vampire guy. I suck at like listening to names or remembering names, whatever. But no, he's something really weird. I don't remember it, but he's a funny guy. He owns a shop, and he's a vampire. So, but I like the character building that we get in this book, particularly. But if you don't like slow burn and a lot of character building, then that won't be for you. And of course, you have to add this one on your list too, Carrie. Now this one is literally so simple. It's like you can finish this like in a day. I finished this in the car, on the car ride to and from this restaurant that me and my family used to go to a lot, and to the Christmas house. It's basically a place where it's a shop where like it has Christmas stuff, like really cool Christmas decorations, and in the corner it has Halloween decorations. But we call it the Christmas house. It's called the Saint Knickknacks, something like that. But I read this to and from when I was riding with them, and it was really good. Basically, Carrie, she has some powers, and her mom is like religious and really beats it into her. Literally, she locks her in a closet at one point, and to me, this is a great lesson can be told within this book. Like, be careful with who you mess with. Like, don't mess with anybody. Like, because you may never know when that said person that you're picking on or you're bullying severely could just snap one day. Like, you never know. You never know that, school could be their only place that they could have, that they're at peace, but they're not. So not only she has to fight two battles. She has to fight the battles at home with her mom and her not knowing things, and her mom not educating her, especially about her period and stuff. Like, she gets really bullied for that. She gets tampons thrown at her and all that shit. It's so terrible. But she has to fight battles at home, at school too. See, that was very much like my situation when I was younger, up until about when I was 12. Like, my mom and dad, they were going through their whole thing. My biological parents, I'll say, they were doing their own little thing with their addictions and not taking care of us properly, and them mentally and physically abusing me and my sister. So we had to deal with those battles at home. But at school, we were getting picked on and stuff. So I get related a lot to this one. Not that I set anybody on fire, but not having any peace at home or school. So this is a lesson to be told. Don't be picking on nobody or bullying nobody, because you don't know what battles they're fighting at home. You don't know what they're doing. And I'll save that one for later. Oh, that one. No. And then the other one I liked was Dolores Claiborne. I liked how this is strictly one person view. It is told by Dolores Claiborne's perspective, strictly through and through. Like, her husband is very terrible. He actually molests, trigger warning, his daughter and all that stuff. And she takes him out. I'm like, yeah, good for you. It's very, and then, she's taking care of Vera Donovan. She's taking care of her, and we also see her as she becomes older and she gets like dementia and all that stuff. So she gets, oh my god, you also get the perspective of how hard some older people can be when they are in that state of mind. Like, they'll just do stuff just to F with you, and it's just like, oh my god. And whenever, like, it is so strictly one person point of view that whenever she gets taken in, because she gets taken into the police because she's suspected for the murder of Vera Donovan, but she didn't do it. If I remember correctly, she didn't do it. Like, whenever she asks, can I have a drink or whatnot, you don't hear the response from, if you hear that car, that's because I have my door open because it's kind of roasty in here, so I let fresh air in. Plus it's good for the guinea pigs too, to have fresh air and air stuff out. Anyway, you don't hear the response at all. Like, when they ask her a question about so what happened on such and such a day, like, you don't hear that response. You just get like a part where it's silent, and then she just responds. You just get her response. So that's what I liked about it. And the audiobook was pretty cool too, because whenever they're pouring her a drink, you actually hear. The next book I'd say I really enjoyed was The Outsider. Now, this was absolutely phenomenal. Like, whenever I read this, I read it within 2 days. When I started it, I couldn't just stop reading it. This is basically about this guy, Terry Midland. Oh my god, what? Sorry. Loudness. Thank you. Anyway, Terry, there's a brutal murder of this kid, of this little boy, and all stuff, like, it's very brutal. And, it's all set up to make it look like Terry did it. But he didn't. So I'll spoil for he didn't. But you actually spoiled for the oh my god, Bill Hodges series, so be warned about that one too. But I think everyone at this point knows that. But you actually find out it's something special that's did that work. Basically, it's like aliens or something like that. Something supernatural that's doing it, and it takes you on a crazy ride. It makes it sounds like it looks like he did it, but he didn't, and it was so captivating I couldn't stop. And my number one book that I absolutely love to death, I will say that is my very first Stephen King book I read, the very first one I actually purchased. It's not the exact copy, but it is The Shining. This is my favorite Stephen King book of all time. I could read his other ones. I don't think they'll ever compare to this one, but this one's just so good. I love the way he... Okay, they're having fun at the apartments across from us. Anyway, the way that he writes Danny in this book is so good. Like, oh my gosh, he can get... He knows the mind of a child. Like, he can perfectly write what a child is thinking and saying and put it to page so perfectly that you actually feel like you're actually talking to Danny. And the shining power and what happens is just crazy. Like, it's a good read. I want to reread this since now I have it on audio now. So I want to see if I miss anything when I read it audibly or listen to it audibly, whatever. So I really cannot wait for that. Now I'm going to get to the two Stephen King books I did not really enjoy, per se. This one, I enjoyed it, okay? It's not I don't hate it or nothing. It's just, the ending, just threw me off, okay? Alright, it's Gerald's Game. I do like this one. This one's also, I believe, first-person point of view. And, we know how it happens. Like, her husband likes kinky stuff. And he handcuffs her to the bed. He's doing his thing, but then she kind of insults him. And then they kind of get into a little scuffle. And he has a heart attack. Dies on top of her. He ends up rolling him off somehow. And then throughout, I think the 2 or 3 days that she's tied up this bed or whatnot, she actually sees this dog come in and out from wherever and eat her husband, which is horrible. That's scary in general. But this whole time you're thinking that this book is playing on it. It kind of is, but then the ending kind of just ruins the kind of concept, you know. It's playing on the minds of being afraid of the dark. You know what I mean? Like, she sees these figures. Like, she thinks that there's someone that's coming in or whatnot, and there's not. But until you make it to the end, there was a person that was in there. Turns out it was this crazy guy that likes to do things with dead bodies and dig them up and stuff. She actually, it gets to the point where, she sees him in court. You can see people's trials on court or whatnot, I guess. But, she sees him and, she ends up, making a scene about it. So that whole ending was kind of, it baffled me. So, I liked it up until that point. I was like, really? I didn't watch book reviews on these, see if other people said the same thing as I'm thinking. I didn't watch Mike's book reviews. Was I need to watch that one again. But that's that one. And now there's this, you probably were gonna guess where I'm gonna go with this, as I talked about it last week. This one just confused me. I don't know what I don't know what was going on when he made his book, but Tommy knockers, man. For real. Why? This book smells really good. It smells like an old book. But whatever. Anyway, the only thing it gave me was nightmares about losing my teeth. I feel like he could have done better with the concept of digging up a spacecraft and it affecting people. Basically they're morphing in to the aliens and stuff, and he could have done better with the concept, right? So, and he's obsessed with periods in this book. I don't know why. Everyone has a period. They used to be starting the periods. I don't know why. But this one, so far I least enjoyed out of all the Stephen King books I've read. Now I've read some of his short stories. They're okay. So I don't really have that much to talk about it with. But these are my Stephen King books I liked, and the only two that I really at least enjoyed. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Comment, subscribe. Please because if I get more likes, maybe I'll get some subscribers, because I like I like making these videos, they're fun. So that being said, I'm gonna leave you guys. So I hope you guys are having a lovely morning, day, evening, night, wherever you guys are at in the world, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.